Hello and welcome to this short video. We're going to be talking about real yields and how the real yields are tending to support the US dollar and are acting as a headwind against gold and the risk indexes. Today is Tuesday. It is the 15th of August. It's gone past 20 past 3. My name is Russell Shaw. I'm a senior market specialist at FXCM and my email address rshaw@fxcm.com. Just going to go ahead, bring up the disclaimers. We'll start off with the high risk investment warning. Keep this on screen for a few moments. Okay, and here's our market commentaries disclaimer. And finally, I'm just going to bring up our references and we'll be using tradingview.com. So let's go ahead, bring up TradingView. And what we have here in the top screen is we have the real yield. It's effectively the 10-year minus the break even, which gives us the real component of the yields. And what you can see is it's moving in what we call zone 1, the bullish zone between the upper blue and the upper red. I started off with the S&P 500 at the bottom, and you can see that as the real yield has pushed up into that zone 1, that bullish zone, so the S&P 500 has pushed down into the bearish zone 3. So effectively the real yield really acting as a headwind on that S&P 500. Just going to go ahead now and bring up the NASDAQ 100. Right, so this is the NASDAQ 100 in the bottom chart. Very similar looking to the S&P 500, but it is the NASDAQ 100. Again, you can see that the real yield has tracked higher, gone into zone 1, and as it's pushed up, again, dragging on the growth index, dragging on the NASDAQ 100, and then NASDAQ 100 dropping into zone 3. What's interesting is as we move into zone 1, that's when the NASDAQ 100 begins its journey, so to speak, towards zone 3. Just going to go ahead now and bring up gold. In the top chart here, again, we've got the real yield. Below, we've got the gold chart. And as you see the real yield pushing up into zone 1, again acting as a headwind on the yellow metal, acting as a headwind on that precious metal. The real yield pushing up between the upper blue and the upper red, and at the same time we've got gold getting pushed down between the lower blue and the lower red. So the inverse correlation quite evident there. Finally, what we're going to do is we're going to bring up FXCM's US dollar basket. Okay, so you've got the real yield at the top. You should be quite familiar with that chart now. And at the bottom, we've got FXCM's US dollar basket. And you can see that the real yield supporting the dollar here. As the real yield pushes into zone 1, between that upper blue and upper red, so does the greenback push into zone 1, between that upper blue and upper red. So it's quite interesting. We see the real yield supporting the US dollar, but acting as a headwind against gold and the risk indexes. That's where we're going to leave it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it and looking forward to speaking with you again in the near future.